This is a review of the Makita GSB01. 3 by 21 inch. That's what this sander is going to use. It's only sold as a bare tool. And if you look in there, most paper has a direction on it. And of course, I'm not going to be able to find it while recording. Oh, there's the arrows right there. All of them are right there. So, adjustment is pretty simple. Now, I will say one thing coming in here. This, I've only put a few pieces on here. It does go on rather tight compared to other sanders I've used. You're experiencing it right now. I've noticed a little difficulty getting it in that back right there. They got a couple bosses or something right there sticking out there, but as far as adjustment, of course a battery would help. As far as adjustment, I will say compared to other belt sanders, I've noticed it tracks pretty good. And what I mean by that is after you adjust it, it seems to stay pretty much where it is. Now, it doesn't come with a case because this is only sold as a bare tool. Couple things additional. Of course, we had this left over, I think, from a rear-handled 36-volt saw, or who knows what it was. We got a couple of those that work great because it's large enough to keep all your paper. This right here is a little difficult to put on. Takes a while to get used to where it goes, but the biggest problem I've seen with this so far is it's really meant for right-handed people. What's going on here? Why are you going so loose? Okay, there we go. It fits pretty good there, but you'll see it's really tight. Near impossible. My knuckle barely fits in there. Your adjustments right there. So it's a right-handed tool only. That's my opinion, unless you got really small hands. Really cool feature. Tip this ahead. Well, oh yeah, it's going right there. You tip that all the way ahead, and this plane, at least with the 4 amp, is flat. So they actually make a couple mounts that you can actually affix this to. They basically, where do they mount off? Right here. They mount off this, so you can actually attach it to a bench. I think we're going to get that. I think that'll be worth it right there. All right, are you going to use this to sand a whole floor? No, that's not what this is meant for. It's meant for exactly what I'm about ready to do here. Smaller areas. I got this curb in this shower that I need to touch up. See, we got a little bit of fall this way. My first board here is like, this should have been a frowny face because it's pitched the wrong direction. Super dust collection. Really good dust collection. Ooh, she's almost on. Look, I'm just putting my fingers in there. I can't even put my whole hand in there. The dust collection is phenomenal. That's on, that's perfect. Does this have enough power? It absolutely does. For smaller jobs, and that's what I think this is meant for. I'm pushing down a decent amount there. It's got more than enough power. It's got variable speed, so that's nice. Now, I went ahead, I already mentioned about being able to mount it upside down. And so that variable speed I think is going to be really sweet. And plus, it'll keep you from burning stuff. I really like right there. You can hold up there.
Point out the light.
And of course the light. What do you think of the light?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, we're on. Okay, would I recommend this? Absolutely. If you're right-handed. If you are left-handed and don't want to be mainly operate with your right hand, don't get this. Oh,
why don't you interview me?
Okay, do it.
All right, so I'm actually left-handed. Dad told me something when we frame a lot. He says, you learn to use your hammer on both sides. So I just use my right hand. Not that hard, just switch hands. Now, if you are up against a wall and you have to do the left, yeah, I mean, I don't have a huge hand. Maybe I have a huge hand. But it's skinny this way, and it still barely fits in there. You're almost further off just taking the bag off.
Yeah, but hold on. They just saw what we sanded. Empty that bag right now. It's going to show you how.
Sorry.
It's going to show how good of dust collection this thing actually has. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a lot of
dust. It really is.
I have no idea how it has that good a dust collection.
I'm always preaching to them that a good carpenter can pretty much work with his right hand as well as his left hand. And so that's a good point. Okay, so people are going to ask me, what's the run time? I don't know, because we're not sanding the whole floor. We never bought it for that intended purpose. So far it's worked for us, what we've done. So I don't know. I'm not going to run it for its full length right there. But I'm assuming if you're going to be finishing a large area, you probably should stick to a cord. So we removed a chimney in this corner, so we actually had to replace the subfloor. And in that, you know, our go-to is that flex fold as far as any time that we got to remove a bunch of material. But I wanted to kind of compare them, and I cannot compare the speed. I mean, that flex fold, or just say a grinder with that Diablo backer and some 24-36 grit 5-inch sanding disc, it's gonna rip so fast. I love that tool, but the dust collection is just abysmal. It's just horrible. This thing is fantastic, although it is a fair amount slower than what this flex bolt right here is. We're going to use them together, but if you were really concerned about the dust and making sure things stayed really flat, I think this is a really good choice. I do. Look at the dust collection right here. I accidentally dumped a little bit around my boot, and now mind you, some of this dust that is in this bag could have been created from that flex bolt, but I think a lot of it was captured by the Makita by itself. And once again, we're proving that it's absolutely awesome, the dust collection. This tool's a winner. It just is. All right. Sign us out.
That's in the next video.
I don't
know what is. But more content, hopefully. All right, see you guys later.